Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. So today, we're tackling something I bet almost every single homeowner out there has dealt with, but, well, very few of us actually understand. We're talking about diagnosing those weird, creepy, gurgling, and bubbling noises that come out of our home plumbing. You know the ones. It's super easy to just ignore that sound, but as we're going to see today, ignoring it? Yeah, that is literally the last thing you want to do.
Picture this. You're standing in your bathroom, maybe just washing your hands, and as the water drains away, you hear it. This strange, hollow gurgle echoing right up from the sink. Or maybe your bathtub or toilet is making these spooky noises after you use them. I mean, it's so easy to just write it off, right? Just a quirky old house or a minor annoyance. But here is the big paradigm shift for us today. That sound, it's not just an annoyance, it's actually a critical clue. Your sink is quite literally trying to talk to you. It's sending out a diagnostic signal about what's going on deep inside your walls and way down beneath your floors.
All right, let's dive right into Section 1, the sound of trouble.
So before we can play plumber and diagnose the issue, we really need to understand the mechanics here. What even is gurgling? Well, scientifically speaking, it's just unstable pressure caused by restricted ventilation in your plumbing system. Now, most of us probably think, hey, my sink is making a weird noise, I must have a water problem. But we need to flip that thinking completely. When you hear that gurgle, you don't just have a water problem, you've got an air problem.
See, residential drainage systems rely on this super delicate balance between two things, water flow and air movement. As water travels down and through your pipes, it creates a vacuum right behind it, and that water absolutely has to be replaced by air coming in through your plumbing vents. Think of it kind of like pouring juice out of a fresh carton. If you don't let a little air in, what happens? It glugs and splashes everywhere, right? Your pipes are exactly the same way. They need that smooth, constant replacement of air to keep the water flowing quietly and efficiently. Now, when that essential ventilation gets restricted, or worse, totally blocked, the system basically gets starved for air. It's almost like it becomes a living thing, literally gasping or gulping for breath. Because the air can't come in from the roof vent like it's supposed to, the trapped air is forced to travel backwards. It pushes right up through the standing water in your pipe traps and fixtures. So those bubbling, gurgling noises, that is literally the sound of air violently fighting its way backward through the water. Pretty crazy, right?
Moving on to Section 2, let's look at the 4 common drain diagnoses.
Okay, time to put on our plumbing doctor hats. Let's rapid fire through the 4 main culprits behind these gasping drains. Number 1, your vent pipes. If these get blocked, it's usually from outside stuff. Think debris, bird nests, leaves, or maybe even ice capping the vent up on your roof. Number 2, the drain lines themselves. The usual suspects here are the things we put down them. So hair, grease, soap scum, food particles, you name it. Number 3, the sewer lines. This means a narrowing further downstream in your main line, which could be an early-stage blockage affecting the whole house. And finally, number 4, plumbing pitch. This just means the pipes are incorrectly sloped or the fittings were installed in a way that naturally traps air. We see this one a lot in older homes with newer renovations.
Let's zoom in on those partial clogs for a second, because the dynamic here is actually fascinating. Things like hair, grease, or soap scum can create this partial blockage where, water might still slowly pass through, but it definitely struggles to clear out. What's happening is a literal physical fight for space inside that pipe. The air and the water are just battling it out to occupy the same narrowed passage. And the result of that epic struggle? That's the gurgling sound you hear right at the drain.
But what if the cause is way deeper down? Well, if you notice that the gurgling really spikes or intensifies right after you run heavy water appliances, like flushing a toilet, running the dishwasher, or emptying the washing machine, the diagnosis totally shifts. This specific pattern strongly suggests you've got a restriction further downstream, in the main sewer line. That massive volume of water hits the narrowed spot, creates a huge pressure backup, and sends that gurgling sound echoing all the way back up into your sinks.
All right, Section 3, decoding the danger levels.
Now, a noisy pipe doesn't always mean you need to panic, but the patterns, they absolutely matter. Let's start with the lowest danger level. If you have just a single fixture gurgling, say only the guest bathroom sink, and it only happens when you drain a small amount of water, you can usually take a breath. This typically just means there's a minor localized buildup right there in that specific P-trap. So it's a warning, sure, but a very localized one.
But let's step up the tension a little bit. If you've got persistent gurgling happening across multiple drains in different rooms, the danger level definitely goes up. This pattern is telling us you're likely dealing with a serious shared vent failure. Remember that bird's nest on the roof we talked about earlier? Or it could be a larger blockage forming in the main line. It's actually starting to mess with the entire home's airflow.
Then we hit level 3, gurgling. That gets triggered specifically right after someone uses a toilet. A toilet flush dumps a huge, rapid volume of water all at once. If doing that causes your other drains to start gurgling, guys, that is a major red flag. It points straight to system-wide pressure changes in your sewer line. Basically, your system is crying out that it's struggling to handle normal, everyday capacity.
Which brings us to the highest danger level. If you hear persistent gurgling and you also start noticing foul odors or worse, standing water actually backing up into your sinks or tubs, this is a high-risk situation. A severe, full system backup is literally imminent. Honestly, this is the plumbing equivalent of a flashing red light and a blaring siren. Do not ignore this.
And that leads us to Section 4, when to take action.
So what exactly should you do next to protect your home? Well, for those minor, isolated issues, that level 1 danger zone, there are some safe, non-destructive DIY triage steps you can take right now. Step 1. Absolutely stop pouring any grease or harsh chemicals down the drain, because that can honestly make partial clogs so much worse. Step 2. If the problem is completely isolated to just one toilet or sink, grab a plunger and try to dislodge that localized clog. And step 3, just check for and pull out any visible debris near the drain strainer. If you can easily reach the trap beneath the sink, check it for obvious clogs. Making a habit of regularly degreasing your kitchen sinks is a fantastic idea here too.
But look, it is incredibly important to know where to draw the line on DIY. When is it time to put down the plunger and call in a licensed professional? According to our sources, you need to get expert help if the gurgling just won't stop despite your best efforts, if it spreads to multiple fixtures, or if it comes with recurring stubborn slow drainage. Those are the telltale signs that this problem is way beyond the reach of a household plunger.
And this is exactly why the experts exist. Licensed plumbers, they don't just guess. They bring in specialized tools to diagnose what we can't see. They'll properly inspect your roof venting, assess the air pressure, and they even use these really cool sophisticated plumbing cameras to see exactly what's hiding deep inside your pipes. Getting them in early is absolutely vital. It can prevent a full-blown backup, saving you from catastrophic water damage to your floors, cabinets, and all your personal stuff.
All right, if you take absolutely nothing else away from this explainer today, let it be this exact quote from our source material. Gurgling drains are your plumbing's warning system. I love that. Whether it's a blocked vent, a partial obstruction fighting for space, or a mainline restriction, that noise isn't just noise. It is an essential diagnostic signal. You now know exactly how to read the patterns of that sound and interpret what your fixtures are trying to tell you. So, the next time your sink tries to strike up a conversation, will you listen to what it's saying before a minor little sound turns into a major disaster? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep your ears open, and I will catch you all in the next one.